Hey there, dog lovers. Get ready to mark a special date on your calendar, October 5th to the 7th. Right here in the heart of Vermont during the breathtaking foliage season, I'm thrilled to invite you to the Canine Fusion Workshop. We're diving into the art of assessments, the joy of playful interactions, and the exhilaration of canicross. No matter your role in the world of dogs, this workshop is designed for all of us who cherish our canine companions. Join me in a passionate community of dog enthusiasts for an immersive experience of learning, connection, and growth. And here's the best part. Your experience will be complemented by the beauty of Vermont's foliage season. And did I mention that we've got your meals covered? Lunch, coffee, and snacks are all included. Reserve your spot now by visiting our website, vermontdogboardingandbehavior.com/workshop. Let's fuse the magic of training, play, and canicross into an unforgettable experience. See you on October 5th.
Time again for Talking Dogs with Ian Grant, owner of Vermont Dog Boarding and Behavior, VFW Drive Hyde Park. It's the show that delves into the training, socializing, behavior, nutrition, and wellness of your dog. And brought to you by Guy's Farm and Yard, with locations in Morrisville, Montpelier, Williston, and St. Albans. And we're back with the trainer, Ian Grant, and this week we are at Prey Drive, which is just down the street from Lunge Lane, we determined. Prey Drive, of course, that's Prey. Prey Drive.
Yes.
And we're not talking about a physical location. We're talking about a, what would you call it, a symptom or what would you call it?
Well, technically, this is a drive that dogs have. And in some dogs, it's going to be higher than others depending on their breed, their history, that kind of thing.
So what is it then?
This is them wanting to chase animals and obviously we call it prey. So this is technically could be food for the dog.
Right, but preying on, you mean?
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of dogs out there that are killing squirrels and rabbits and groundhogs, and that's that prey drive that kicks in, and it can be really intense, especially if you see it and watch it. Dogs just kind of get that tunnel vision when it comes to seeing an animal. And unfortunately, it actually starts. Most people don't see it until there's a squirrel and all of a sudden their dog, is
chasing it.
Oftentimes what I find is as soon as dogs walk out the door on leash, their head and their neck is on a swivel. They're already looking. And it's so keyed in on movement that that's what they're looking for. I've seen some dogs react, especially in the fall time. A big leaf that may go tumbling across the driveway, the dog will react to that because it's that similar kind of quick movement that gets their attention, and then it's off to the races.
Well, I know when we let Tika out, she can go out our back door and then out the shed and then outside, and usually you see her for 2 seconds and boom. Because they're across the way from us, there's some sort of animal, a woodchuck or something that's there, and it's on the other side of the barn, fortunately. And I know that's what she's going out there to investigate.
Yeah. And for some dogs, it's more about the chase than anything else.
Yes.
And even if some dogs do unfortunately catch something and kill it, that's when it's done. They just don't know what to do after that because of domestication and that kind of thing.
And actually, Tika did actually kill a couple of, unfortunately, baby woodchucks. And I don't think she meant to, but, she thinks it's a toy and that she kills it, and it's sad to see that, but that's their nature.
Yes, it's their nature. The other part of it, too, is if we look at their intensity, which it's super, super intense, and they also can't hear us during this, because if we call their name, we mean nothing to them.
They are long gone.
Yeah, we're not even elevator music that they can hear. And oftentimes I look at this, and for the longest time in my career, I was always trying to stop it. When in reality, there are ways that we can embrace this to a positive. Meaning we can get, like recently I have all sorts of toys and stuffed animals and stuff for dogs for, training purposes. So I have a little stuffed animal. So I took a leash and wrapped it around it and then used it almost like a flirt, leash kind of thing with the animal. So the dog started chasing it, but then we can teach the dog how to drop it. We can teach the dog how to play with it. And what happens is now that the dog is super intent on this toy, what happens is now that when they're super intense, they can hear us talk. So what is created from this is that I think a big missing piece is that most people can talk and communicate with their dogs while the dog is calm, but they don't know how to communicate, and the dog can't hear them when they're super intense and excited. And so this can start to kind of harness this, if you will, and make it so the dog can hear us And hey, if your dog sees something in the future and you got the dog on leash and you can say no and they understand, oh, yeah, that's not something I'm supposed to have, then hey, to me, because a dog has this drive, I don't want to necessarily just try to suppress it.
Because it is their nature. You can't. How can you suppress it? Really?
It's their nature. So let's make it a game. Let's have fun, and you can still have that ability to do it. But I'm going to create the rules around this stuffed animal.
So it's important to establish these rules fairly soon, as maybe as part of your early training with the dog. Maybe
absolutely. Ideally, I want that dog to know a drop it or an out command. Out means it's got to come out of your mouth as soon as I say the words. Just like drop it does. And then I will also tell you, okay, you can have it back. It's not just this one-time thing. When I play with my dogs, it's out, let me have it. Okay, let's go back to play. It's no different than a ref blowing a whistle. It stops the play and then restarts the play. And when you can start to communicate with your dog when they're really intense, hey, we need that. We need to be able to communicate to our dog in all levels of their excitement and intensity.
Right. And you need to do it during the early training time before it gets to the point where they're already in overdrive.
Yeah. If you look at a lot of police dogs, all those dogs are trained based on play and games. And so when they're in the moment of trying to chase a criminal, all that is in place already. So let's have fun with it to work on it.
Back with our question from the doggy bag in just a moment here on Talking Dogs.
Roaming is a Los Angeles-based premium lifestyle brand that is motivated by nature. Roaming features high-quality, earth-friendly dog products made from renewable and natural materials like their bio-based and 100% compostable biodegradable dog poop bags. These bags really are awesome. I've been using their bags for a few months now, and I love the durability, the way they feel, and the fact that they are good for the earth. They also have a special discount for our listeners. Use code VermontDog to get 20% off your first purchase, including 20% off the first 3 orders if you sign up for one of their poop bag subscriptions. They also have some beautiful leather leashes made right here in the USA. You can check them out at roaming.com. That's ROMNG.com.
Back to Talking Dogs with Ian Grant from Vermont Dog Boarding and Behavior, VFW Drive in Hyde Park. If you want to look back or listen back at some of these programs that we've done here on Talking Dogs or other podcasts that Ian has available, you can go to his website, VermontDogBoardingandBehavior.com, and click on podcasts, and there you'll find them all. Our question this morning, Ian, is how can I teach my dog to be calm when he's always excited? Well, there's a good question. You really can teach them how to be calm when they are excited, right? Don't you have to wait until they've calmed down?
Yeah, there's a few different ways that we can look at it. I think, a dog that's always calm, number one, does it have enough rules and boundaries because it has, if he's always excited, then we saw glimpses of it for a certain amount of time and the dog just realizes, well, I'm getting some sort of reinforcement from this, so I'll just keep doing it. Unconsciously, we're always petting our dogs without knowing what state of mind they're in.
Yes, all the time.
We're all guilty. I'm guilty of it. I was at my office or at my desk this morning and Fitz comes over and all of a sudden I'm petting him. I don't even remember putting my hand down.
Yeah.
It just happens. But we have to make sure that there's rules and boundaries in place to cap off this excitement. Number 2, and we just talked about prey drive. Play is a great way to get rid of some pent-up energy, and also going for walks and whatnot. Then we can work on getting the dog to calm down. If all that is being done and there's still excitement happening, then we have to look at this is a rule and a boundary thing. I may crate the dog for just 10 minutes just to let them settle down and then let them back out. Or I may put them on a place bed for 10 minutes and then let them back off. Just something to kind of put a little ripple effect into their brain that just says, you need to come down a couple of notches here. And then just be aware of how we're interacting with our dog, making sure that we're not excited too.
Yeah, because we inadvertently, hey, we love our dogs. That's why we have dogs. And sometimes you just have that urge to, to show affection for the dogs, And so you may be unaware of the fact that you're maybe stoking the fire, so to speak.
I think we're stoking the fire a lot.
Yeah.
When people sit down in front of me for lessons and I see how much the dogs kind of get into their space and they get rewarded for that, and There's a certain aspect of it going on at home and everything. And some dogs just take advantage of it, and then we just have to go from there. But, just some more rules and boundaries in place would be good.
Awareness, another key.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yep.
If you have a question for Ian, you can email him directly to info@VermontDogBoardingandBehavior.com. Next week, patterns. So what kind of patterns are we talking about?
Well, this can be both positive or negative, and I think it's important that we look at both because our dogs are probably doing something that's very unwanted. There's a pattern to it, and then there's something that they do that is very positive, and then we'll look into it as well.
All right, and keeping them out of the negative ones is the key.
Absolutely.
On Talking Dogs with Ian Grant, brought to you by Guy's Farm and Yard, with locations in Morrisville, Montpelier, Williston, and St. Albans. And for the trainer Ian Grant, I'm Roland LaJoy, and we are Talking Dogs.